Hey, welcome to my studio. This is where the madness happens. So most of this wall here is where the technical drawings are pasted when we're prototyping. More prototypes. This was the first M2 shelf that was actually made, and it sits pretty where I usually sketch. This is made out of POP and silicone. This was actually the mold for Friction Ridge Act 1. Yeah, travel is extremely important for me for my work, man. I think, I love to see each city with fresh eyes. If you're working as a designer, it's important to have a lot more cultural experiences just to understand how people interact with certain things and how people interact with their environment. And it's also a heavy consideration for me when I design, having a global but local approach. I started off my design career welding at 14. When I was after high school, or when I was just leaving high school in Maryland, in Mende, under the bridge, where my mom would drop me off, push me to do an apprenticeship because she realized that I failed at everything in school apart from design and art. And she's like, okay, my son's an artist. He needs to figure this thing out from a very young age. I think metal has because of that, it has such a special place in my heart. So one of my favorite people in the world, my mom, she raised 5 boys, engaged us as much as she could on what our dreams, making sure to always feel our dreams. So I think I always have a picture of my mom around the studio, whatever studio I find myself in, because she actually propelled me and always pushed me to be who I wanted to be. So this is the lamp. Hasn't been finished yet, but one of my favorite pieces. So the charcoal fits in like here, but we still have to put the pegs in, etc. But the light then gets illuminated from there. And this series, the Oríkì, is basically words of affirmation that's passed down and from generation to generation. So, which is why my mother, who used to say my Oríkì growing up every single time, just to boost my energy of some sorts when I was down or anything, was what I was always leaning towards when I always worked on these objects, which is why actually you'll hear my mom's voice during the exhibition with my Oríkì. I'll play that for you now.
Òkú àgbà fẹ̀yìntì lárí ó kún fún ẹ̀dùn ẹni abáfinúhàn ló ṣaláròkè ẹni ẹni apètepèrò káṣe ọwọ́ rẹ̀ délẹ̀ pípele ló ń pele sí ọmọ àfigbásáwó ní òkè mòru ó sọ pé kérò ọ̀nà kan yà wá bú.